Hello. On our virtual learning for today, what subject are we looking at? Basic design and technology. And under basic design and technology, what topic are we considering today? So our topic is under aggregate. And don't forget, as usual, I am going to be a facilitator throughout this lesson. Asante Samuel is my name. The subtopic for this very strand is fine aggregate. So let's have a clear look at some of these building materials, which is mostly used when someone wants to put up a building. So all these are pictures or materials which are being put together when constructing a house or a building, a domestic warehouse, or any sort of apartment. So let's find out what an aggregate is at all. When you talk of aggregate over here, aggregate is a term which is used to describe sand and stone used in the mixtures like mortar and concrete for building and constructional purposes. So when it comes to mortar work, when it comes to concrete work, one of the commonest materials which we put together is sand and stone. And these two are being considered as aggregate. Aggregate over here, they are being classified under two main headings, which we have fine aggregate, which is commonly known as sand, and the second one, coarse aggregate, which is also known as stones. Let's now look at fine aggregate as a whole. When we talk of fine aggregate is an aggregate which can pass through a standard 5 mm sieve. And a typical example of fine aggregate is sand. Before one can select sand for any constructional purpose, certain factors must be taken into consideration. And some of these factors include: one, the sand should be free from dirt or impurities. So when you buy your sand, make sure this sand is free from salt, make sure it's free from stamps, make sure it's free from broken bottles, dead roots, and any other substance which will bring deformity in the course of you putting up your structure. Secondly, the sand should be well graded in size. The third one, the sand needs to be very hard. So when I pour water around or in my sand in the course of mixing, this sand should not dissolve in water. The fourth one, the sand should not stay in my hand. And finally, it shouldn't be too fine or in a form of powder or dust. So all these are some of the factors you need to consider when selecting your fine aggregate. When we talk of sand over here, sand is being used to perform so many functions, being at home, at the building site, or wherever we find ourselves. So some of the constructional uses of sand include: one, sand reduces the shrinking and cracking effect of mortar. So when you talk of shrinking and cracking over here, it simply means when it reduces the main content of mortar in terms of construction. So that is where the shrinking effect comes in here. Then when you talk of the cracking effect too, this is where you end up seeing series of marks after using it for plastering or rendering. So to avoid all these, sand play a major role in the course of you mixing your mortar. The second point says sand increases the volume of your mortar. So increasing the volume of your mortar talks about adding extra quantity to it. Although you may do your normal measurement, but the moment sand comes in, the volume on the other hand increases. Sand at the same time fills the void which is being created by stone in terms of concreting. And finally, sand also prevents the mortar and concrete from sticking to the trowel and your shovel or spade. Uses of mortar over here. One, mortar is used for molding bricks and blocks. So the image here is a typical example of bricks and blocks which was being molded out of sand. But before you can mold it, it's a combination of other building materials before you can obtain your mortar to produce what we see on our screen. The second use of sand, it is also used for laying or erecting wall. So when you look at this, we have a brick wall and at the same time a block wall. Sand is also used in concrete mixtures for making slabs, for making beams, and at the same time for making columns. Sand is also used for finishing wall surfaces, such as your plastering, your rendering, and at the same time screeding. So when you look at the picture below, it's a typical room which has been screeded. Let's now come to the various types of sand and where these sand can be obtained. So sand can be obtained from pit, river, and at the same time sea. The various types of sand include 1. Pit sand. The pit sand is mostly obtained from ground which is sandy. And after digging your sand out of this sandy area, it is suitable for laying, for molding of bricks and blocks, and at the same time for concreting. The second type of sand, river sand. River sand is mostly obtained from or along the river belt or banks. And after obtaining your sand, it is also suitable for molding, for laying of bricks and blocks, and at the same time for concrete work. The third type of sand is sea sand, and this sea sand is obtained from the seashore. The texture of it after obtaining it may either be fine or coarse. And we shouldn't forget, when you obtain sand from the seashore, it contains salt content in it. And this salt content can be treated by using the natural means or the artificial means. So after treating it, your sand is now suitable for any constructional work. Okay, so we are done for today, and I'm sure you have one or two questions which you would love to ask me. But before your question come to me, this is just a simple exercise. I want you to try your hands on it, and after trying your hands on it, you forward all your answers to me via email sagacious59@gmail.com. Then you can also send to me through WhatsApp on 0240 900-650. So get all the questions here, ink it the way you want to ink it. From there, the two sources, you can forward all your answers to me. So next week on our basic design and technology, we'll be looking at course aggregate. So if you have any answers, any question, any observation, any opinion, forward all to me via email sagacious59@gmail.com or through WhatsApp on 0240 900-650. Enjoy the rest of your day, and we will meet